Okay, so this is my 86 GTS Toyota Celica with the 3S GEL motor in it. So I had a recent no spark issue that I thought ended up being, well, originally I thought it was fuel because I went to crank the thing to leave from work and it wouldn't start. It just cranked over. I punched the gas tank and all of a sudden the thing started up. So I just assumed it was fuel. I put a new fuel pump in, a new filter, then went to start it and found out it still wasn't starting. Realized it was a no spark issue. So I tested a couple different igniters. I have a couple different known working spares. So I figured it wasn't an igniter issue, not ruling out possible wiring going to it. And I just assumed the coil was good. So I replaced the distributor for the hell of it because it was the original distributor. I just put a new one in there. So I put a new one in there and the thing fired right up and ran. And then after like 30 miles of driving yesterday, I went to start the thing again and it fired up and then just kind of like died. And then it wouldn't start for a little bit. But after about 5 minutes, it started up, ran perfectly fine, got me home. And then later that night, I just had no spark whatsoever. I had no spark this morning. And I've been running like ohm and resistance tests on the distributor, which is good. The coil actually doesn't pass the test according to the manual, but it works because the issue ended up being the EFI main. That's where this little relay cover is. This EFI main relay. So if yours is faded out, like this one's supposed to have writing on it, so if yours is faded out, pop it, it's going to be this one here in between the two squares. So right now my wife's in the car with the key on, and this is actually the original one. And when I push it on, I can hear the solenoid clicking in there. I'm assuming it's maybe that 3-4 connection. But my guess is maybe the 1-2 connection is toast because I can feel this clicking with key on, power on, going to everything when I plug it in. But I don't hear anything happening on the engine itself. And it won't start with this. Go ahead and try to start it. Okay. Nothing. Just cranks. The key is still on. Okay, so the key is still on. There's still power going to everything. I'm going to take this other one. And you might be able to hear it. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but as soon as I plug this one in, there's a faint clicking that happens somewhere over here with the key already on that doesn't happen with this one. Go ahead and crank it. Starts right up. So go ahead and kill it. So there's actually a spare one of these. One of the guys on Facebook from the ST162 group pointed it out to me. He said it was for the rear sprayer, which I'm assuming is only on the liftback hatchback models, which mine's a coupe, so I don't have that. I don't have a rear wiper. But it seems like similar with Jeeps, where they just kind of like make all their wiring the same from the factory, regardless of what trim level and stuff it is. There's actually a kick panel here that has a little nut that would hold it onto that stud there. And then there's also one more Phillips screw up there. And I think that's it. And then it just snaps right out. But there's actually right there where the light's super bright, underneath this black box, that 4-hole spot right there is actually another one of these that's identical to the one under the hood. And this is supposed to be for, like I said, that window sprayer on the liftback, hatchback models. So in these coupes, it's there from the factory just as like a spare, but it's not used. So I robbed that plugged it into this bitch, and it fired right up. So I did a fuel pump for nothing. I did a distributor for nothing. But now my car works. So sadly, it's kind of a shithole here. I apologize. My engine blew up in that, and I've got 2 engines torn apart, and it's a cluster. Sadly, I threw away the fuel pump, but it actually really needed it. It was nasty. It was original. It was 40 years old. But now I've got a brand new fuel pump, a strainer sock, a filter. I've got a new distributor. In that box is the original one, and I ran the ohms test on it, and it actually still passes according to the book. So I'm going to keep that as a spare. It probably still works fine because these are getting harder to find. So I'm just going to run the new one and have that one as a backup. So hopefully this helps some of you guys. And thank you to the guys on Facebook that tipped me off to the EFI. I appreciate it. Thanks.